When you hear the words free car in GTA 5 Online, what comes to your mind? Because for most people, it's usually associated with being cheap, slow, or disposable. Most of us have simply become accustomed to spending hundreds of millions of GTA dollars on shiny new rides, and we as a community love to pimp out our favorite toys with new upgrades so we can show them off at car meets, which further inflates the cost of owning all the garages in the game, filled with sports cars and exotics. Even though most of these vehicles wouldn't last 2 seconds against an Oppressor or Deluxo Griefer in free roam, we buy them anyway because owning and customizing cars is a cornerstone of GTA and has been since the days of GTA San Andreas. But what if I told you that you could own a pretty decent looking car collection in GTA Online without spending a single dime? Alright, maybe you'll spend some money on visual mods and things like new EMS upgrades, turbos, and transmissions, but the base vehicle itself will be totally free. Sounds ridiculous, right? I mean, clearly this is only possible by taking advantage of the Career Builder or Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack like you see in so many other videos, right? Wrong, because in this video I won't be using either of those things, and still every single car on my list, all 10 of them, can be had for free. Most of these are cars that you can grab off the street, and one of them also happens to support HSW upgrades. It's actually the fastest coupe in the game as well, so drop your guesses in the comments below if you know which vehicle I'm talking about. Alright, the first car on my list is the legendary Sultan, and if you've been playing GTA for the last 2 console generations, you're probably a fan of it already, because the Sultan is basically the template vehicle for the attainable, but still relatively fast JDM category, and it still retains its bite from the GTA 4 days, with an aggressive exhaust note, plenty of grip, and an overall fun handling profile that gives you just the right amount of slip through fast corners without spinning out like a muscle car if you floor the throttle all the way down. And while you can technically buy this car for $12,000, I'd much rather grab it off the streets because it's a lot more fun to steal a car than to buy it in GTA. And you can get this version of the Sultan pretty easily all over Los Santos, so there's no reason not to. If you're willing to spend an extra $800,000, you can also modify it at Benny's to convert it to the Sultan RS, which is only slightly quicker on a circuit, and it has a top speed that's a whole 2 miles an hour higher. In my opinion, the upgrade isn't transformational enough to justify the price for a beginner who doesn't have a whole lot of cash. And since you're watching this video, I'm guessing you probably can't afford it either, so I'd advise sticking with the base vehicle, as it's a lot of fun once you add some performance upgrades. In terms of customization, the Sultan RS trounces the base model, which is the main reason anyone upgrades to the RS, but even if you have a free Sultan off the street, you can still make it your own by adding things like roof scoops, spoilers, custom wheels, etc. Performance-wise, it won't blow your socks off or anything like that, but the Sultan might still surprise you with how lively it feels, and believe it or not, this free car is actually faster around a track than a non-HSW Karen S95, which itself is a pretty agile sports car. Next at number 2, we've got the HSW car I was talking about earlier in the intro, and it's the Sentinel XS. This is the only HSW car that you can grab for free off the streets, and it comes in different colors, with the purple one being my favorite version. Also, there's a really specific routine that you have to follow to be able to spawn the Sentinel XS on public roads, so pay attention. First, you have to go here on the map, this intersection right here over in West Vinewood, and make sure it's at night, otherwise the Sentinel XS will not spawn. If you drive there in your own Sentinel XS, it increases the chances of the car spawning, but we're trying to grab it for free, so use whatever vehicle you have, and if it doesn't spawn, have another go around the block so the game gets a chance to roll the dice again and spawn new random vehicles for you. Then, once you have the Sentinel XS, take it to Howe's workshop where he's going to give you your first HSW conversion for free. This way, you'll have an HSW vehicle right from the very start, even if you're on a level 1 account. Not to mention, the Sentinel XS is also one of the sexiest vehicles in the game. It's based off of an E92 BMW M3, one of my absolute favorite cars. But you know what's funny? Even with a fully upgraded HSW Sentinel XS, you can't beat the Sultan around the track, as confirmed by Bruffy1322's tests. Yes, of course the HSW Sentinel XS is faster on the freeways, it has a higher top speed of 136 miles an hour, but the humble little Sultan does grip harder and stops faster, which makes it better around turns. The upside of owning a Sentinel XS is that you get a ton of customization options. Like, this is easily one of the most customizable free cars that you can grab off the street. There are a whole bunch of hoods, liveries, wheels, skirts, spoilers, as well as interior modifications that you can do to make your Sentinel XS look like an absolute beast. And if you want to farm, it's easily the superior choice over the relatively tame Sultan, but nonetheless, you're still getting humbled if you ever take on a Sultan in anything that isn't a drag race. Free car number 3 today is the Duke of Death, and this is one of the only 2 cars on today's list that can be viable in public lobbies. You need explosive resistance to handle griefers, as everyone these days has sticky bombs, homing missiles, and heavy snipers, so as a beginner, you really can't go wrong with the Duke of Death because it comes with armor installed from the factory, and it can tank up to 3 RPGs or 9 homing missiles, vehicles, and once you get an agency business, you can even install a missile lock-on jammer because this muscle car recently got updated with support for fancy new electronics, so you'll be completely safe from oppressor as well as jet griefers in free roam once you install that jammer. My next pick isn't a car, but it's still a land vehicle with wheels, so close enough, I guess, and it's the Brigade 6x6, the Acid Lab version. If you're really impatient, you could buy this from Warstock for $1.4 million, but I think that's a huge waste of money because what you're going to do in that case is miss out on the equipment upgrades for the Acid Lab if you don't do the Dax Fooligan jobs. And to do those, you must play at least the first mission of the Los Santos Drug War storyline. But if you decide to go further into the 6th mission with the Dax storyline, the game will also give you a free Brigade 6x6 which you steal as part of the mission. So once again, buying this is a huge mistake, as not only are you getting a nerfed version of the business, but you can literally play the game for 1 hour, do some entertaining story missions, get paid for doing so, while also being rewarded with one of the best businesses in the entire game for solo players. And if you didn't know, the Acid Lab version of the Brigade 6x6 can tank up to 48 RPGs, which makes it the second tankiest vehicle in the entire game after the MOC when speaking from an explosive resistance standpoint. And the reason I say at least from a pure armor perspective is because in practice, the Terabyte with its missile lock-on jammer as well as stealth running module will probably be the hardest to kill overall, even if the explosive resistance isn't as high. But with the Acid Lab, you're getting a 2-in-1 deal here. You get the free vehicle as well as a free business, which by the way, I made a guide recently on it, so go check it out and learn for yourself how you can make up to $85,000 per hour entirely through passive income with the Acid Lab. I also have a lot more of those videos coming up in the future covering a bunch of other businesses we haven't talked about yet. And if you're a channel member, you get 1 week early access plus some cool emojis, so definitely sign up if you like these types of guides as well as my list style videos. Oh, I almost forgot here as well. You're actually getting a 3-in-1 deal with the Acid Lab because in addition to the Brigade as well as the business itself, you also get a Manches Scout C dirt bike, which is the best off-road bike in the entire game. From a pure value perspective, this is easily the best free vehicle in all of GTA 5 Online. Number 4 is going to be the Zion, another Ubermacht vehicle. This one's a little special because it's actually priceless. And no, I'm not exaggerating. You literally can't buy it from in-game stores anymore because it was removed during the infamous 2023 San Andreas Mercenaries Purge, along with 180 other vehicles. So if you want the Zion in 2025, either you grab one off the streets or you buy it from another player at the LS car meet. Those are really your only 2 options here. And I like free stuff as much as you, so I'm just going to grab this one right here, even though I already have one in my garage. But you can't go wrong with too many BMWs, right? It just looks so stylish from every angle with its sporty yet understated vibe, and despite being powered by a little wimpy inline 4 engine, this car will actually hit 118 miles an hour, which isn't bad at all for a non-HSW coupe. The only complaint that I have with the Zion is that the customization options are a little bit limited here, but that's okay. But if you want a free car that also offers a decent range of customization options, you should get the Elegy RH8. And yes, it's based off the legendary Nissan GTR. To be more specific, this one's the R35 version of the GTR, but you can also take your free Elegy RH8 to Benny's and they'll give you a retro mod and turn it into the Elegy Retro Custom, which is modeled after the older R33 Skyline GTR. With a few tweaks, you can turn the retro version into a lookalike of Leon's Skyline from the Fast and Furious movies, and that alone is enough of a reason to grab the Elegy RH8 right there. And all you have to do to get this awesome car for free is link your Rockstar Social Club account with your console or PC account that you use to play GTA 5. And if you're concerned about performance, well, you have no reason to worry. Just because this car is free doesn't mean it's slow and trash, because the RH8 still holds up pretty well against other fast sports cars like the Sentinel GTS as well as Sultan Classic. It's actually a lot faster than a 10F wide body and base Stinger TT as well, so this car is no slouch, folks. Claim it as soon as you can because I guarantee that you're gonna have loads of fun with it. Next, I've got a fun little exercise that you can do in a public lobby. If there's someone you don't like very much, call the Merryweather Mercenaries on them. Then, once the mercenaries arrive and start shooting at your target, just climb into their Canis Mesa and drive away. Merryweather certainly won't mind, and the other player is probably going to be too busy fighting off those mercs to chase after you. And just like that, you now have your very own free Canis Mesa in your garage, which is one of the better off-road cars in the game. Plus, this is the Merryweather variant, which looks and drives better than the regular Mesa, and since it's a removed vehicle, you have to either steal it or acquire it from someone else at the LS car meet. English Dave's Weevil is also a really nice car you can own in this game, and for this you have to do Kaio at least once, after which he's going to call you and ask you to do 3 contact missions for him. These are all pretty basic, like in one of them you go hijack a pizza scooter, in another you find some skate merch for the Kind Music boys, and in the last mission Dave will ask you to find his chakra stones from some hillbillies at a trailer park. Once you do all 3 of these missions, you'll find a special version of the BF Weevil with the Weevil waiting for you atop a parking lot, and this one has the Love Machine livery equipped. Obviously bring that to Benny's and turn it into the BF Weevil custom for the fastest non-HSW land vehicle in the entire game. The Canis 95 is also an excellent free car, and you can only get this if you've migrated your account from last gen consoles to a current gen console. So for example, if you had a PS4 and you later purchased Expanded and Enhanced on PS5 and you migrate your PS4 character to your PS5, the game will give you a free S95, which is one of the faster sports cars in the entire game, and it's just perfect for driving around in free roam as it's light, it accelerates well, has lots of grip. It's not the fastest car, but you can bet it's plenty good for a free car. And finally, for free car number 9, I've saved the best for last. Remember the Los Santos Drug Wars missions I talked about earlier? Well, mission 6 gives you a free Acid Lab Brigade, but if you do the last mission, which is mission number 11, you'll also get Dr. Isaiah Friedlander's personal Ocelot Virtue. This is an Amani Tech electric supercar with all-wheel drive, insanely good acceleration, and it can tank up to 12 RPGs if you install the Amani Tech armor upgrade, and it also fits a missile lock-on jammer on there as well, so it's possibly the hardest car to destroy in the entire game, and it's an excellent choice for free roam or money grinding in public lobbies where things can get a bit rough. I mean, you do have all those explosives and fighter jets flying around the map, and this is one of the most expensive items on the list, excluding the removed cars, because if you decide to buy an Ocelot Virtue, it's going to set you back $3 million, but if you do the last dose missions, you'll get one for free, which is the method that I recommend for most people watching this video. Alright, it's time for the bonus round now, and here we're going to talk about 5 more awesome cars that you can get right now if you own the premium edition of GTA 5, which does come with the Criminal Enterprise starter pack pre-installed. For most PC users, this was the default version before Rockstar replaced it with the enhanced edition earlier this year, so you probably have these vehicles sitting in the lot just waiting to be delivered to one of your garages at 0 cost to you as a player. The first bonus car is the Turismo R, and it's a good choice for racing as well as time trials, plus it just looks absolutely beautiful, partly because it's designed and inspired by the Ferrari LaFerrari. Then we have the Obey Omnis, which is also part of the Criminal Enterprise starter pack, and this one's a rally car. It even has a livery inspired directly by Walter Rall's Audi Quattro Sport. The Banshee is also available for $0 with the Criminal Enterprise starter pack, and while it's nothing special in its stock configuration, once you apply those HSW mods, the Banshee will really open up and become one of the fastest cars in the game with a top speed of 152 miles an hour. Not on the level of the Banshee GTS, but it'll still blow every other non-HSW car out of the water in a straight line, that's for sure. Then we have the Paragon R Armored, and for this you'll need to purchase a penthouse at the Diamond Casino and do all 6 Agatha Baker missions, as that's the only way to get this unique version of the Paragon R. You can't buy it in any store, you can't buy it at the LS Car Meet, it's only available as a mission reward. The car doesn't cost anything, but a prerequisite for being able to obtain the car is of course buying a penthouse. But you're not buying the car for the cost of the penthouse, you're buying the penthouse. And my 5th and final bonus ride is the Romero Hearse. Might seem like a really stupid pick, but it's genuinely one of the rarest vehicles in the game, and the only reliable way to get this car is by doing the level 2 security pass mission for the Diamond Casino heist. Right now, you can also buy it for a limited time, just this month because it's Halloween season, but unless Rockstar brings it back during special events like these, your only choice is to steal one off the streets. And there you have it. Those are my top 10 free cars in GTA that any player can own for absolutely free. And as an added bonus, I threw in a few bonus cars for people with the premium edition of GTA 5 as well. If you made it this far, then please let me know down in the comments which of these free cars you knew about before watching this video, because I'm sure a lot of the newer players out there don't even know that you can steal these cars from the streets and take them home. Rockstar does put a limit on the maximum value of a stolen car. For example, you can't keep anything that costs over $100,000, but if it's a Simeon's request vehicle, you can get a free paint job, and then instead of delivering it to him at the docks, you can actually steal the car for yourself. The game won't charge you for the new paint job. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and you want to see more GTA Online content just like this. Feel free to check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, specifically twitch.tv/hazardoushtv for more GTA Online money grinding live streams. It is the GTA 6 waiting room over on there, and I will see you guys in the next GTA 5 online video. Adios, amigos.